Hi, this is Leslie with Comfortable Shoes Studio, and this is art journaling number 7, drawing on gessoed pages. Alright, so in my previous video, I gessoed a bunch of pages in my art journal, and I wanted to draw on top of them. And so I finished reading Amanda Palmer's book, The Art of Asking. It was suggested to me by, I think, a couple of people here on YouTube. It's been something that I've had on my to read pile for a long time, and I just never gotten around to it. So requested it from the library, and lo and behold, it was actually available, which it hadn't been for a really long time. So one of the things I like to do after I read a book is kind of process it. I highlight a lot, especially a book like this. And I'm going back into the journal last episode I gessoed these pages with the intent to draw on them. And here you can see I'm struggling with this stupid pencil sharpener. And it just these pencils, they're lovely pencils, but that pencil sharpener is having some issues. So there are a couple of different ways you can add portraits to your pages. And I am very out of practice at doing portraits. This does not end up where I wanted it to. Also, 3/4 view is a little difficult. So anyway, I can see where I go off proportion right here. But anyway, you can sketch it in like this. You can use a couple of photos like I've got, and you can sketch directly from the photo onto your page. And I'm just here. I think I've got the HB pencil here. I'll sharpen it up. This paper is pretty toothy due to the gesso. And so the nose is a little long, a little off to where it should be, eyes a little off. But anyway, I'm just, having a good time rough sketching this out. I need to do some more portraits. It's been a minute. You can see I, put the mouth a little too low, chin too long, cheek too wide. But that's not why I'm here. So anyway, The Art of Asking was actually a really, really good book. And I enjoyed Palmer's take on gaining connection with community, which I think is largely what her Kickstarter was about and what, she did online. And that was a long time ago, as I remember it. And then the controversy came out because of her not paying people and whatnot. And the book explained some of that, which made me feel a little bit better about my being a fan of hers back in the day. So anyway, her book was great. But yeah, it's all about building community and connecting with people and having real conversations with people. Which, singing my tune, I've been saying that for ages. So again, just roughing in the face here. I'm not going to talk through the whole thing because I don't necessarily think that that's going to be helpful here. Really just getting to know these pencils a little bit. I'm going in here with a little Tombow eraser. Then I realize, oh wait, hey, this Faber-Castell set actually has a really nice eraser in it, and it's bigger. So I open that up, and if you ever have a chance to get one of the Faber-Castell plastic erasers, they're fantastic and pretty sturdy. So worth their money. I used to buy them at AC Moore when we had AC Moore, but AC Moore is no more. It went out of business quite a few years ago now. It's very sad. All the art stores are out of business. So I'm just using the stump to kind of blend things, get a little more variation in tone. Um, the gesso just shaves off a lot of graphite and makes it super dark, which I don't really mind all that much. And now I'm getting out my Inktense pencils because I gotta add some color to this. I haven't been doing a lot of mixed media stuff in my art journal lately. Just a lot of collage, and the Inktense pencils just don't fit. Um, so I'm adding some leafy, or no, not leaf shapes here. Leafy shapes come later. I'm just adding in some green um, in here. Uh, again, struggling. I'm desperate to use that pencil sharpener. I'm using the little stubby one, and I don't like it for the Inktense because the Inktense are very soft, and I have a tendency. Here we go. Is this the leafy shape? No. Well, kind of. It's more of a veiny shape, I guess. Trying to like think about growth and growing things and whatnot. Kind of the vibe that the book gave me. So I'm just kind of layering that in. I'm debating whether or not I want to use that paintbrush. It's one of my watercolor brushes. I'm going ahead and I'm using it, getting some water. So this video was sped up. It's going to last about a half hour, but it was sped up from, I think, about an hour and a half's worth of actual footage that I shot. So the various clips here probably took me an hour and a half to do, and it's been sped up quite a bit. Again, you can kind of see the camera move around a little bit. It's got this tracking software in it where it will track a face. And I'm not sure it'll track a face or an object that you set it to. But because the page was relatively empty, when I first started, I didn't set it to track the page. But you can see once there's a face on there, it automatically tracks it. And I have shut that off. That feature is actually shut off in the camera, but it still does it anyway. I hate it. It does this weird little seasick thing. Not a fan. Not a fan. All right, so here I wanted to give you another option. If you want to add a portrait, but you're not feeling great about your ability to draw, how would you add it? Well, certainly you could collage in the photo, which I do later. I do another spread, but you can also do this little hack. So take a dark soft pencil and you color it all over the back of the portrait or the photo. Make sure you get everything covered that you're going to transfer. You want a nice even coat of graphite on the back. I find graphite works better than charcoal or anything else. You could also use graphite paper. That works fine too. And you just scribble it all over the back. And then you figure out where you're going to want it on the page. And stick it down with a couple of pieces of painter's tape. I like to put one up there and then one off to the side so that it stabilizes. You want to put enough down so that it does stabilize your image. So I'm using a ballpoint pen to transfer because I find that works best for the technique. You can use a pencil as well. I think I show a pencil later doing this. But the ballpoint pen gives you a nice fine line. It deals with the gesso just fine. And I'm just going around all of the dark and kind of medium dark areas. I'm looking for the lines in her face and the highlights. I'm just going around everything and lines in her forehead. And yeah, just going around the face, finding the details. And then because I've got tape in two different spots, I can peek underneath it and see how good my transfer is going. And I'm going to guesstimate where her cheek is there, where the microphone is hiding it. That hair. Shade it in a little bit. Peek. You got a peek. Then I'm also going to kind of sketch in where that microphone is at. Shading that in a little bit just to give myself an idea of where the shadows are. Not that I'm going to forget. The sketch is right there, and the photo is right there. But this gives me something to work on the page. So once you do this, you can go directly into it with colored pencils. You can go into it with an ink pen. You could use your Inktense on top of it, which is I think what I do next. You got a lot of options here. So you barely kind of see the transfer there. Yeah, I go directly into it with Inktense. I'm using a purple Inktense here. And I'm even though I could do like a really tight rendering here, I'm letting it be loose. I know I'm gonna add water to this Inktense in a bit, and it's going to it's gonna flow, and that's how I like to do my watercolors anyway. So I'm gonna let it flow. And I'm not looking for perfection here. It's not going to be perfect. This kind of like tracing technique isn't perfect, but it's a great way to add a likeness of a person into your page. And I've done this with selfies for years. I've done selfies like this. I print off selfies. I hate taking them, but finally gave up on the sharpener and just used a knife on the Inktense. This is the best thing for them anyway. So yes, selfies are great like this. You can take a selfie, print it out, and then trace it into your art journal. You can also just collage it in, but printing it off works great too. Yeah. So I'm adding some green around. I think this is where I do the, yeah, this is the leaf shape. The leaf shape comes in here. This page has the leaves. Yeah, I was really thinking about like growth and things like that. Um, and like if a person is toxic, and I'm not saying Amanda Palmer is. I don't know her as a person. I just read about the controversies about her. Um, and just like this is kind of the thing that I've been wondering. Like there are a lot of people out there who are definitely not people I'd want to associate with or who I think are toxic, who are really wonderful at growing communities. I've seen it again and again and again. There are these charismatic people out there who are just really good at building a community around them, and kind of like part of me is like, how do you do that? If you're like that kind of an awful person, how do you do that? And part of me like wants to like be able to like build a community, but also like keep it honest with authenticity and integrity. So thinking about that art journaling thing again, like how do I reclaim that? How do I get that back? I don't really think I can, but also like how do you I did it once, and like just thinking about that is a different time and a place. I think with the internet, the internet was very different back then. Social media was very different back then. And with Twitter's possible demise, I don't know, things are very different in social media land. I'm rarely on Facebook anymore, and I don't know, I think the kind of magic's gone. So yeah, I'm doing YouTube again and working on my blogs, and I guess that'll be it. So anyway, so yeah, so again, just working really loose, letting the colors mix together. Really kind of turn her into Frida Kahlo there, I guess. Whatever. The leaf shapes become very indistinct here. These super bright colors. I love the Inktense pencils. I know that they're not light fast. I got to do some more light fastness testing here um, with my new sketchbook and our Windows setups because I think it's necessary to test some things. I know that there have been some changes in formulas and whatnot, but I don't know what's light fast anymore. So um, yeah, digging these colors. Doing the color opposite thing with the purple and yellow and green. All right, so that's that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thanks everyone for supporting me and waiting around for some more art journaling videos. I hope to have more out soon. Take care. Bye.